Welcome back to Talk Back. We are talking to the former Chief of Pakistan's Army Staff, General Mirza Aslam Beg. General, we've talked about mostly everything about you, but we haven't touched on the Mehran Bank scandal. For the benefit of our viewers, the scandal involved 140, or according to some people, 150 million rupees being disbursed via the ISI to political opponents of the Bhutto government. Would you agree?
Yes, I mean,
Okay.
This whole thing is on record, the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Well, we did check those records.
Right.
And we have a deposition from you, which you made to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Now, in clause 2 of your deposition, you said that further proceedings in this matter shall be detrimental to the interests of the armed forces rather than helping it. Why is the issue detrimental? Why is raising something which is controversial detrimental to the armed forces? Shouldn't it be solved to clear the armed forces?
No, I did not say that. Where have you got this one?
Well, here's a copy for you in clause 2. This is your deposition. It's signed by you. You are respondent number 1, and that's what you've said.
Can you read it? I don't have my glasses.
Absolutely. You've said further proceedings in this matter, and you're talking about the case, shall be detrimental to the interest of the armed forces rather than helping it. You are the respondent to this deposition. What do you think? Why would solving a case, putting it in the public eye, figuring it out once and for all, be detrimental to the armed forces of Pakistan versus dismissing the case? Because that's where it is at today.
I think this is not detrimental to the armed forces of Pakistan, no. Detrimental to the government in power at that time.
General, you said it in your own deposition.
Well, I mean, if I've said it, then there is some mistake in my saying.
We even highlighted it for you.
Yes, you are right. That detrimental to the armed forces of Pakistan, no, because this case must be investigated, and this is what I said at the end of the proceeding. Not only that, this case must be completely followed up, and those who are the recipients of the funds, they must be told, which was brought on record. It is on record, everyone who received out of it. And then I said the role of the ISI. It must be determined.
So you go back on your deposition? Is that what you're saying? You disagree with your own deposition?
I disagree. Because if I said that, that was wrong. Because it was no reflection on the armed forces of Pakistan. Armed forces of Pakistan had nothing to do with it. It was the ISI which had the role to play. It was the ISI we received the funds. It was the ISI we distributed the money to various people for their own purpose. So it had no reflection on the armed forces.
General, there's a couple of contradictions here which I'd like to bring up. In fact sheet 10, which is in the following pages, you've said in your deposition that it is in the knowledge of the answering respondent that it was practiced with the ISI to support candidates during the elections under the directions of the chief executive of the government.
Right.
So you, as the respondent, knew that the ISI politics in the politics of Pakistan.
It was given a role. I mean,
by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto.
Yes.
We've talked about that. And you were fine with that. As the Chief of Army Staff,
what could I do?
You were fine with that.
I mean, this was happening. Before me, it was happening at that time.
Why did you not draw the line, General? Was it a lawful command from the Chief Executive, from Ghulam Ishaq Khan? Don't you think it was your duty to tell Ghulam Ishaq Khan that, hey, please don't do this?
I went to him. I told him what was happening. He said, it's all right. If he could...
So if you told him, General, if you told him that you were against all of this, and you also go on to mention that this is, as you reiterate, that this was just a dealing between the Chief Executive, who was Ghulam Ishaq Khan, and the ISI, which was DG Asad Durrani, and you were not involved in this. Why is it that your DG, Asad Durrani, has given an affidavit to the Supreme Court, which reads that I, General Durrani, Muslim adult former DG ISI, presently posted as Ambassador of Pakistan, Bonn, Germany, do hereby oath and state on solemn affirmation that in September 1990, as DG ISI, I received instructions from the then Chief of Army Staff now retired General Mirza Aslam Beg to provide logistic support to the disbursement of donations made by senior businessmen of Karachi to the election campaign of the IJI. I was told that the operation had the blessings of the government. Why is it that...
Partly. I tell you.
Why is it that your DGISI is saying that you
Yes.
told him to do this and not the government, while you are saying the government told him to do this?
There is some, see, that the statement is a little, I would say, garbled, in the sense that when I came to know that this money has been made available, I went to Mr. Ghulam Ishaq Khan. I informed him. He knew about it. And he said, it is all right. So I called the DGSI. I said, please be very sure that whatever money you use, which has been placed at your disposal, is correctly recorded and accounted for. Nothing else. And he did account for it. And that's why that he placed the complete record before the court.
So you just told him to be free and fair in his politicking?
No, not free and fair. To keep a correct record of the funds being utilized for this purpose.
But General, a little while ago, you just said that you were against all of this. A little while ago, you just said you were against all of this, that you went to the president and gave him your spiel.
Of course.
That
yes.
you were against it.
Yeah.
Then why would you call your DGISI and tell him to be fair about the distribution if you disagreed with the whole concept
And this
of
was the practice going on for years. This was the practice
That
approved
doesn't
by
mean that you agree with the General, does it?
Yes, I agreed it, because that was the practice at that time. I couldn't stand up and challenge my president. I couldn't stand up and stop this practice. I had my own limitation.
But I thought we've talked about this before, I thought you were the only guy in the army who spoke his mind.
Of course, yes. I told Mr. Ghulam Ishaq Khan that it was not the correct practice.
But you told your DGISI that go ahead, distribute it,
Yes.
but be fair about it.
Not be fair about it.
That's
I
what
said
that's what you
distribute
just
it
said.
at his own discretion. But I said keep account of it, so that later on you don't have to do explaining how you did it, where did you use the funds.
But General, in your deposition, you're saying that the government and him were dealing directly with each other, that you were just kept in the loop, but not operationally in the
Right.
loop. You were just
Right.
informed.
Right.
That's what your deposition says.
Right. Right.
Your DG says that you were the one who told him to start all of this.
That's what I
And
said.
that
That is the garble there.
So your DG is lying.
But you can call it that way, that he is telling it in a different way. I told him to keep a complete, correct account of all the funds that were used under this purpose.